It's time for an intervention because I have been noticing that you all are looking a little too happy. You're smiling like on a daily basis, and I'm starting to feel a little worried because you are just a bit too joyful. Dare I say you seem to be enjoying life, and as a healthcare professional, I'm going to have to beg you to seriously dial that back. Consider heavily implementing into your regimen a daily habit of taking an ice cold shower. In all seriousness, cold water immersion has been really popular in the health and wellness space for some time now, with proponents claiming all sorts of health benefits: improved immune function, better mental clarity, improvement in mood, productivity. Suddenly, bills are paid on time. You're making millions of dollars, all because cold water immersion, whether that be taking a full-on body dunk into a tub of ice cold water, taking a cold shower, or just exposing parts of your body to cold water, like dunking your face into a bowl of ice. Now, when it comes to the promise of clear, radiant, glowy skin, no pain, no gain, is this going to transform my skin if I implement this? I mean, people on TikTok are saying it does. So there's that. Cold water immersion has actually been used in sports post-strenuous activity for possible improvement in recovery. What benefits are there that you might reap from taking a cold shower? Well, cold temperatures constrict the blood vessels that course through your skin, and a consequence of that is a reduction in puffiness, especially around the delicate skin of your eyes. Because the skin there is delicate, the slightest little bit of accumulation of fluid around that area is like, whoa, puffiness, under eye bags, and can make dark circles appear more prominent. So that little vasoconstriction pushes that fluid back to the heart. You may note a decrease in facial puffiness, a more sculpted, snatched jawline. A little splash at the sink should achieve that benefit, or you might choose to use one of those jazzy ice rollers that are so popular, or just a cold compress. The other benefit of cold temperatures on the skin is for relieving itchy skin, because the cold temperature sort of distracts the little nerves that course through the skin and release little itching signals, neuroinflammation, and drive itch. So a cold temperature on the skin can really help alleviate that. Do you need to take a cold plunge or an ice cold shower to get that benefit? No, just get a cold compress. Go into the freezer, get yourself a bag of frozen peas, wrap it up in a towel, and put it on the itchy skin. That can help. You don't necessarily need this elaborate ritual in your daily routine. Cold temperatures help in reducing swelling. So if you have acne, you may note a reduction in size of individual acne lesions, which can become swollen and red. The biggest change you could see in your skin when implementing cold showers, possibly, is a significant reduction in dry skin, and even a reduction in flare-ups of atopic dermatitis, keratosis pilaris. Now, what's the exact mechanism behind this to explain this unique potential outcome of skin benefit? It's very simple. When you elect to take a cold shower, you're going to be miserable, and therefore you're going to get out of the said shower much faster. Now, if you're someone who in your prior lazy slacker life took long, hot, indulgent showers, well, those long, hot showers can dry out your skin quite a bit. So when you switch to short bursts of utter misery, that removes this issue of the long, hot shower drying out your skin, aggravating atopic dermatitis, flaring up your keratosis pilaris. So yeah, that definitely can get better. Your skin barrier is not being assaulted by that comforting blanket of scalding water anymore. So if you have atopic dermatitis, your skin barrier might thank you, and you might get fewer flare-ups. Also, people who have acne might start appreciating, potentially, again, there's no large controlled trial to support this claim, but I could see you starting to maybe turn a bit of a corner when it comes to acne breakouts because of the reduction in inflammation, the reduction in swelling, and you're spending a lot less time in the shower because you are uncomfortable. Yes, you are uncomfortable. So if it gets you out of the shower a little bit faster, then yeah, ultimately there's going to be a downstream effect of better barrier function, fewer flare-ups of itchy skin, fewer flare-ups of keratosis pilaris, and potentially potentially a reduction in severity of acne. Now, if you're like me and you do not like ice cold showers, instead you could implement another biohacking tool, and that is to set a timer. Set a timer and restrict your shower to no more than 10 minutes. An egg timer is a biohacking tool that is really underutilized when it comes to showering and bathing practices that can transform your skin. Now, there are a lot of bold claims online that people make because they want you to watch the content so that they have better success on the given platform. And so they're going to say things like cold showers, dunking your face in a bowl of ice water, it shrinks your pores. Shrinks your pores. These are people who believe that pores open and close. I hate to break it to you, cold water is not going to shrink your pores. Pores are dilated because the attached sebaceous gland is large and maybe pulling it out a bit, the overall anatomy of your skin, and maybe the supportive framework of the collagen around the pore has been damaged by a lot of sun exposure, and so pores are very prominent. Cold temperatures, whether it be dunking your face in a bowl of ice water or taking a cold shower or cold plunge, are not going to stimulate new healthy collagen to build up around that pore and help diminish it. Aside from implementing misery into your day-to-day life, another potential effect of showering in cold water or washing your face in ice cold water is if you have rosacea, you might find that it worsens flushing over time. While the blood vessels clamp down, which temporarily improves redness, swelling, discomfort, you might get a rebound worsening of the redness once the blood vessels dilate back again and actually get a flush. You know, some people who don't have rosacea might enjoy that. It gives them sort of a radiant glow, but if you have rosacea, this might trigger a flare-up for you. Cold water is not a great idea for people who have cold sensitive disorders like cold urticaria, hives that are triggered by cold exposure, certain autoimmune conditions such as Raynaud's phenomenon, cryoglobulinemia. You would want to be really careful of cold water exposure. That's probably the minority of you all, but just something to point out that this is not going to be appropriate for everyone. Now, that being said, is this a research-backed way towards better skin? No. You're not going to come across robust clinical trials on cold water immersion therapy for any particular skin benefit, but you probably have heard people making other health claims about it, and you might think to yourself, well, if it does that, surely it's beneficial for your skin. Let's discuss. Some people claim that cold water immersion, whether it be through the shower or the cold plunge tubs, is good for reducing inflammation. Temporarily, yes, but meta-analyses actually show that over time, cold water immersion actually, in some cases, seems to increase inflammation, which ultimately could worsen inflammatory conditions. A lot of people claim that cold showers have been a game changer for their stress levels. There is a little bit of research to support this, and anything that reduces stress ultimately can be beneficial for your skin. Check out my video on how stress impacts the skin. It's a notorious driver of things like flare-ups of psoriasis and acne. It seems as though stress responses can decrease 12 hours after cold exposure. However, they're not really that much different at earlier time points post-cold exposure, so it's kind of difficult to say, is this really that significant? 1 hour, 24 hours, and 48 hours after cold water immersion, there was really no difference in stress levels, only at that 12-hour time point. So it's kind of difficult to draw any conclusions based on that. And the studies that we have looking at immunity are inconclusive and incomplete. And research studies show no differences in leukocyte or lymphocyte responses after cold water immersion compared to control. A lot of people claim that since implementing cold showers, they're a lot healthier and they don't get sick as much. They'll even quote a study that was a randomized controlled trial that randomized people to cold water immersion for different amounts of time or control for 30 days. At the end of the study, people who were getting cold water immersion had significantly fewer overall sick days. However, while they had fewer sick days, they didn't actually have any difference in terms of illness-free days. So it's not clear if they actually got sick less or just took fewer sick days. So maybe they're just more motivated to go to work because they're miserable at home in their cold shower. And as you can imagine, it's kind of difficult to conduct really good trials on this because it's not really possible to blind the participants to cold water exposure. Like, pretty aware that we're standing in a shower miserable with cold water as opposed to not. So there's going to be quite a bit of confounding and factors that are difficult to control for. Some small studies do show an improvement in overall sleep quality. However, these studies were only done in men. And again, it's kind of difficult to really control for all variables. There is a lot of confounding. Hard to say if it's generalizable. Overall quality of life does appear to be improved, but again, that's also something that is largely going to be subjective. Studies show there's no significant change in mood overall, but some people do report that they feel they have an overall improvement in their mood. It's not necessarily the most research-backed practice out there for any of these benefits. Yes, it is used after strenuous activity and sport, but to say that it's going to help your immunity and to help your sleep, your mood, and offer all of these skin benefits is a reach and largely based off of anecdote. So before you go dunking your face in a bowl of ice or subjecting yourself to cold showers, here is a more prudent approach to skincare that doesn't require this painful practice. I do suggest limiting your showers to no more than 10 minutes and try and stick to lukewarm water. Again, hot showers of long duration dry out the skin and can aggravate a variety of skin conditions. If you wake up with facial puffiness, a cool compress may help vasoconstrict and allow for reduction in that puffiness. You might want to wash your face with cold water, but again, if you have underlying skin conditions like rosacea, it's possible that that makes it worse. Cool compresses can be beneficial for reducing facial puffiness, under eye puffiness, and itch. Also, when it comes to reducing itch and employing cold temperatures, take your moisturizer and put it in the refrigerator and chill the moisturizer. Applying chilled moisturizer to the skin can really help silence itch. But you don't have to make yourself miserable in a frigid shower unless you just want to test things out. Although again, I caution if you have underlying medical conditions with cold sensitivity, definitely would want to avoid this practice. But otherwise, it's kind of just a harmless and inexpensive wellness hack. Although a lot of people are investing in these elaborate, costly cold plunge tubs, which that's taking it to another level. Let me know in the comments, have you tried this? Have you heard of it? What do you think? I hope you guys found this video informative, but if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!